I don't know if this is gonna work, but this is Calcats the Calcatster. I'm out in the middle of by this tenant office. I'm going to do a review of Picard, the episode of the bounty. The bounty. Okay. Yeah. So the episode is basically them. There's two stories going on. The evil Vatic wants to get inside get to Picard's family, which doesn't really make sense. What is her motivation? Why is she doing that? They find out that Picard's son has Shalaf syndrome, which goes back to the original Star Trek. Okay, but he accepts it. It's making him act weird, but doesn't explain how that would make him stop changelings. So that doesn't make sense. But so we have this changelings. Yeah. So we have a car approaching. So I'm doing a review over here, and I'm not filming that car. And so yeah, then they want to break into the Daystrom Institute building vicariously through the security system. Moriarty's part of the security system. Riker and Worf go over there, and Riker and Worf go to the station to do that. Meanwhile, Picard and them go to the building, the Fleet Museum, and they see all the stuff in the Fleet Museum. There's the Enterprise A, the Voyager, the Defiant. There's a scene in which the Sun and 7 of 9 comment on the Voyager. 7 of 9 comments on it being where she was reborn and all that. So there's all these different rebirth ideas going on throughout the episode. It's sort of a thing, and yeah. So we have love, family, and loss, and it's about family. Sort of like those movies with the thing. Yeah. This is a mass from inside the dentist's office. That's what this is. It's not interesting. So we have them go inside the thing. Riker and Worf go inside the thing to try, and Raffi go inside the thing. They meet a Moriarty thing and a crow, and follow a weird tune to the security system, which is apparently Eric Soong put there before he died, so that they could hide the one thing that the bad guys got. Except that they stole other weapons besides the portal weapon. That's what they figure they're after. But he built a Soong type android that's advanced and put it in there, and the android is basically Data, but they put B4 and Lord inside him, so he's kind of schizophrenic. So he's literally the schizoid man from that episode of Star Trek. And he's yeah. So, but Riker is captured by the bad guys, by the Vatic, and who has also captured Troy at the very end. Also, we have yeah, but it's okay because Kestra would be at the Academy at this point. Yes. Yeah. So we have also one of the critters that was in there is a attack Tribble with powers inside him, which is a nod to both the problem with Edward, the silly Trek episode of Discovery, as you know about that one, and of course our sequel, the follow-up to the Tribble thing that we that Starship Locations, the Tribbles and the Bluegills together in that one. So that's in there. So yeah, they definitely saw our fan film. They definitely reference it. There's this evil Tribble like, and they're like, okay, yeah, it's okay. So that was fun. So we have the evil Tribble, and we have and yeah, lots of mention of things. So yeah, it's evil Tribble, just evil. But yes, so the the data lore thing, crossover thing, is basically the Mike Matthews lore character from Starship Locations again, yes, but it actually is Brent Spiner playing the character, doing a very good job hamming it up in the 2 minutes we see him as all of those characters, just with facial expressions. He's really good at method acting, and he's like, I'm instantly this guy and this guy and this guy. It was amazing. So yeah, he has a lot of range on the show. Ironically, he was playing somebody that wasn't supposed to have range, but now he gets to play all of them all at once, everywhere, all at once. Yeah. So there's Data. They're doing his thing. There's yeah. The Enterprise A, the Voyager, the Defiant, they're all there in the museum. LaForge is running the museum with his daughter, one of his daughters. The other one's on the ship. The one on the ship is an actress playing the daughter, but it's nepotism on the station. It actually is his daughter. I'm not sure when they would have been born, because it's only been like, it's only been like 35, 36 years. The Next Generation ended with that other story, Nemesis, only about 21 years ago, so they'd both be under 21. They must have been born immediately after the events of the other story, or they just never mentioned them. They were born during the movies. They just never brought them up. Same thing with Picard's son. Just never mentioned, oh yes, he's there, but we didn't mention him. Somewhere before the movies. I think it makes sense. The episodes established the star dates to be 248000, somewhere around there, which would put it in 2401, which would line up with the fleet thing, and then the Chimera, and lining it up up with the Chimera thing. It's not 3 years later. It's literally 2 years since since Star Trek Picard in that timeline. It's 2. Because they fixed it. See, they put it back where it was. Maybe the events of Starship Locations, Strange Worlds, changed the timeline back somehow, and it snapped back into place. Or it's a different timeline. I think it's a different timeline. But it's interesting that there's some similarities there. And yeah, so that's my quickie review of that, of Star Trek and Picard, the bounty. Oh, they steal the cloaking device from the bird of prey that they dug out of San Francisco Bay. So they have member berries everywhere. Star Trek member berries. The Moriarty thing is just part of the security program. I'm assuming the Data put it there, the Data robot thing, and it did that. But why? I'm not sure why. If you had to kidnap Riker and then beat up on him, where the other ones went, why the fleet would be under attack from the guys, unless it is the Dominion having a thing with the bluegills. It's still got to be the bluegills. It's the brain bugs. Yeah, so it's still them, but the Dominion as well. I think that would actually lessen their powers, though. They would be less intelligent if they merged with them, as opposed to the Tribble thing, where they would be more intelligent. A giant man-sized Tribble or larger, with a brain bug. It's a brain would be, and then they're actually connected to the Trill. They're Trill renegades, so they've always been there. The Trill, basically. They're Trill hosts that escaped, Trill symbiotes that escaped and became bad guys. Yeah, so that's what they are. So where the Trill, they could stop them. Anyway, that's my review. Yeah.